Hi, Tim Lerch from JetCityMusic.com. Coming here for blues lesson number 2 in our series. Last time we talked about the number system, and if you don't understand what I mean by that, then check the archives for that blues lesson number 1 so you can see what I'm talking about, because I'm going to continue talking about the melodies that I'm teaching in that format. So what we're going to do today is have a little lick here that I like to use a lot. I played it and hinted at it in the opening segment, but it goes like this. Okay, very simple actually, but there's a lot of hidden techniques. So we're going to talk about the lick, how we can use it, but also about some of these little techniques that are in there. So I play in the key of A over an A 7th chord. I'm playing 5, 6, 1, and then I'm taking flat 3 and bending it up. Talk about that note in a minute. And then I'm doing a little ornament from 1 to 2 and back. Then back to 6, back to 1, and then I'm sliding from flat 7 to 1 and applying some vibrato. That might be a little bit hard to follow all of that, so I'm going to do it I'll say it a couple of times and play it a couple of times. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now the tablature shows you where to put your fingers, and I'll indicate underneath the tab what these chord tone numbers are. But once again, I'm playing 5, 6, 1, bending flat 3 up just a little bit. Going to talk about that in a second. Then doing this little ornament, which goes 1, 2, 1, 6. And then 1, slide up from flat 7 to 1 on the next string down. Okay. Now, pretty straightforward for those 3 notes. Then we play this thing I just mentioned a moment ago, which is flat 3 being bent up. It's not flat 3. It's not the natural 3. So it's not this one, and it's not this one. It's the one in between. So typically that's on the tab, it'll probably say quarter, the fraction 1 over 4, bend up. And that's an approximation. I call this thing the blue third. And if you ever hear any blues singers, especially a good one, singing, they're going to be singing this note. Now that note lives right between, or somewhere in between, flat 3 and natural 3. Typically we go up to it, and then we replace it with something. All right, so that's a vocal thing, right? And then we just play this little typical, like B.B. King is where I got it from, sliding from flat 7 up to the 1 on a different string, which has a slightly different tone. So, whole lick again. Now, a couple of more things are going on there. Starting with the flat 7th note, I'm playing a rake. Now the rake increases what's called the attack transient on the beginning of the note. I make a bunch of garbagey noise to make the note emerge out of this attack. The way I do that is I fret the note with my 3rd finger, and then I use the 1st finger here in a very gentle way to mute those notes. Now you heard that little harmonic? That means I got to move back a little bit because we don't want to have the harmonic. And I just drag my pick across all 4 of those. You got the right hand in the shot? I just grab my pick and play like this. And then I slide it. Watch this again in context. Watch the rake. Okay, then finally, the last thing I want to talk about is the vibrato of the last note. There's a couple of things that happen with vibrato. First of all, I'm wiggling the note back and forth, so it makes the very nice vocal-like approach to our ear. It also kind of scrubs the string against the fret, which causes the note to sustain. You can hear I didn't even pluck the note, and I just started rubbing it, right? And that'll wear your frets out and your strings out and your fingers out, but it's kind of the sound we like. So we got this. Whoops, I just played a different note. Now, if you imagine what this motion is, it's kind of like turning a doorknob if you're nervous, like you're going on your first date and you're worried about whether she's going to like you or not, and you sort of hold like this, oh. So you just, or if you need a drink, that's another way, right? So your hand is like turning this way. We're not wiggling the neck. Notice the neck's not moving. I see a lot of guys go like that. Well, that's the wrong thing to move because the neck needs to stay stable while we move the string against it. Okay? So there's lesson number 2 for the blues at jetcitymusic.com. And I'll play it a couple of more times in context. And be sure to check that out. Let me know if you got questions about this lesson or if you want to have other things that you're interested in me demonstrating. Okay?